And on to debate number 2. Viewers, let's talk about Pakistan's worst kept secret, their open support to terrorism. The 26/11 mastermind, Tahawwur Rana, was questioned by probe agencies on his role in the 26/11 attack. And what he revealed was not really a surprise to many. As per our sources, Rana, in his statement during the interrogation, highlighted Pakistan's deep-rooted involvement in the 26/11 attacks. Rana revealed that after completing his MBBS from the Army Medical College in Rawalpindi in 1986, he was commissioned as a captain in Quetta. During his tenure, he served in multiple sensitive military zones across Pakistan, including Sindh, Baluchistan, Bahawalpur and the Siachen Balotra sector. But here's the most telling part. Rana claimed that he was a trusted asset of the Pakistan Army and was even sent on a covert mission to Saudi Arabia during the Iraq invasion of Kuwait. Rana said that David Coleman Headley, his longtime associate, underwent multiple stages of training with the terror outfit Lashkar-e-Taiba between 2003 and 2004. Headley himself reportedly told Rana that Lashkar was less about ideology and more about espionage, describing them as functioning primarily as a spy network rather than devout followers of religious belief. Let's tell you more about some of the key highlights. So let's look at these admissions. The first admission is that I was a trusted Pakistan Army asset is what he has told the investigators. He also goes on to say that he served in sensitive Pakistan military zones. The third admission is that he served in Sindh, Baluchistan and Bahawalpur as well. The Pakistan Army also sent him on covert missions to Saudi Arabia. The fifth admission, that Headley said Lashkar was more about espionage. Also going on to add that LET functions mostly as a spy network are some of the admissions that have been made. Now, Times Now is learning that the Mumbai Police Crime Branch is likely to seek the custody of 26/11 plotter Tahawwur Rana. All right, in breaking news coming in, Times Now is learning that Mumbai Police Crime Branch is likely to seek the custody of 26/11 plotter Tahawur Rana. Joining us for more, we have Arunil Sadadekar and Priyank Tripathi with us. Priyank, this is going to be quite interesting because in the past, we have seen the conditions under which Tahawur Rana has been brought to India. We know how the NIA court has sought all the documents. So it would be interesting to see if Mumbai police manages to get the custody of Tahawur Rana.
Yes, Mother, it's going to be very important because in the year 2011, the first charge sheet was filed by the Mumbai Police Crime Branch. And then consecutively, there were 4 charge sheets which were filed, but back then in 2023, there was a supplementary charge sheet which was filed regarding Tahawwur Rana, but that was put under abeyance, knowing the fact that he was not arrested. But since he has been arrested and he's in India and he was in the custody of the National Investigating Agency, the Mumbai Police Crime Branch also want to make the final trial in this particular case because Rana was not there. So that's why the trial could not complete. Now, what is important to be seen that since the National Investigating Agency was the only one which was given this prerogative to go ahead with this investigation according to the extradition which happened from the from abroad, it's going to be very important that what will be the final outcome for this particular submission, which is expected to be made by the Mumbai Police Crime Branch before the court. But one thing is for sure that Rana has admitted before the court that there is no difference between Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Pakistani army because everything which is being done by LET is for the Pakistani army.
Absolutely. And Arunil is also joining us, but we have some more breaking news coming in now. Top sources are also telling Times Now that the court is yet to take cognizance of the supplementary charge sheet of the Mumbai Police, which was filed in 2023. This is quite interesting, Arunil. Why is it that the courts have been waiting for over a year, in fact a year and a half, to actually take cognizance of this particular case? What is the legal hurdle over here as far as this particular case is concerned, Arunil?
Well, Tahawwur Rana's absence was seen as one of the major hurdles, as well as how NIA was proceeding with the case. That was also being seen as one of the key development that was transpiring outside Mumbai, basically at the center level, and that is why the 2023 supplementary charge sheet that was being filed. Till now, cognizance has not been taken as yet. If Mumbai police wants to see custody of Tahawwur Rana, they will have to first approach the court, basically asking the court to take cognizance as well as basically give out valid and cogent reasons about why they deserve to have custody of Tahawwur Rana. What the Mumbai police basically feels is that the primary investigation with respect to the 26/11 attack is with them. The Maharashtra Home Ministry is also buoyant about the fact that if they approach the center to get Tahawwur Rana's custody, they may be able to get him to Mumbai as well. With respect to logistics is concerned, with respect to security reasons are concerned, whether that will happen actually on the ground, that is again a big point of question. But how the statement that Tahawwur Rana is given to Mumbai Police's crime branch now, it is extremely incriminating, basically nailing Pakistan, pinning the blame on Pakistan. He's also named 3 Lashkar-e-Taiba operatives. One is Sajid Mir, other is Major Iqbal, as well as Abdul Pasha, basically saying that David Coleman Headley, his co-conspirator, as well as Mr. Rana, were in constant touch with these 3 LET operatives. They were giving them constant briefing about the Mumbai
Absolutely.
attacks.
In fact, those details are what we are putting out right here on the channel. Arunil as well as Priyank, thanks so much for joining us with those updates.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Let's now take this across to our guest joining us. We have Mr. N.R. Vasan, former Director General of the NIA and former Joint Director of the CBI. We have Major Gaurav Arya, Editor-in-Chief of Chanakya Forum. Yashovardhan Azad, former IPS officer, is joining us. Also joining us is Advocate Parvez Memon, who's a senior lawyer and specializes in the anti-terrorism area. Let me come across to you first. Mr. Vasan, what really are we looking at in terms of whether the Mumbai police is likely to get custody? Because we know how a Delhi court has already sought all the documents earlier. We know how the procedure is underway as far as the NIA court in the national capital is concerned. How likely do you see the possibility of Mumbai police getting the custody of Tahawwur Rana?
I personally don't see any hurdle for Mumbai police to get custody of Tahawwur Rana because he's involved in the case which is under investigation with them. And there is all the reasons, and I'm sure they will be able to convince the court that they need the custody and interrogate Tahawwur Rana to complete collection of evidence in their case.
Right, because one of the conditions we were told, Mr. Yashovardhan Azad, is that it would be NIA who would be probing this entire matter. Is there anything amongst the conditions of extradition that would allow or prevent such a eventuality from taking place, given the fact that while these cases were originally in Mumbai, the jurisdiction now in which they are being tried is in the national capital, that is of course New Delhi?
Absolutely. I'm not aware as to why the Mumbai police will be seeking custody of the Tahawwur Rana and what special other case they have been, investigating. Because any terror case across India, anywhere, is taken over by NIA, and NIA has done a tremendous job. Of course, the Mumbai police initially, jurisdiction matters, and it was there, and that's why they had the initial investigation. So I think this issue may not be of great value because, NIA, you remember we had a discussion earlier about Tahawwur Rana. In fact, twice or thrice we have done it. And I had said that Tahawwur Rana will basically only confirm what we already know. So yes, right now he has confirmed, and what we can do, these dossiers have already been across all over the world. Everyone has been briefed, all the capitals, and that is why at that time everything was favorable towards India. So I think after Tahawwur Rana's coming here, it's a very good thing for us. But think how surprising it is that the same man was let off by the U.S. courts, and the U.S. courts, despite the Americans getting killed, did not ask for the extradition of these Sajid Mir and that gang which was behind Tahawwur Rana and Headley. So, I mean, that's a larger issue I think we look at.
Absolutely. And what makes things quite interesting, Gaurav Arya, is that we have a situation where there has been a supplementary charge sheet that has been filed in 2023. Cognizance of that has not been taken. How much of a role, legally speaking and procedurally, could all these aspects play as far as Tahawwur Rana and his eventual custody of Mumbai police, which is, of course, at the moment just been sought by them?
So I don't know. This is a question that you must ask somebody who's a legal expert. What charge sheet will have what impact is something for the investigators, the NIA, and the legal, experts to say. Not for me, but there are 2-3 things, with your permission, that I'd like to point out.
Sure.
The panelists before me said that there is nothing new, and I absolutely agree. So he was posted in Balochistan and Sindh. How is that of any importance to us? Or he was sent on a mission to Saudi. Big deal. What we are looking at is who were the senior people in the Pakistan Army, who were the senior people in the ISI, who actually, planned everything. Lashkar-e-Taiba, he says, functions as a spy network. I mean, these guys carried out the 26/11 terror attacks. You see, yes. Whatever he's telling us, that he was absconding, he was declared absent without leave from the Pakistan Army, and he was absconding, and then they threw him out, etc., etc. This could well be a deception game by the Pakistan Army, saying that, this person did whatever he did after we threw him out of the Pakistan Army, so it's not our responsibility. But the fact of the matter is that where he was posted, he could have been posted anywhere in the world. It is of least consequence. But what is this man's relation? Can this man tell us what is his relation to the Pakistani ISI and the Pakistan Army? Can this man actually tell us, which senior members, which general? They mentioned one random major. A major has nothing to do in all this. He's a junior functionary.
True. True.
And the Pakistani and the Indian Army came out of the British Indian Army. I was a major. Do you think if I was a major in the Pakistani Army at my rank, they would give me absolute permission to do such things? No, there would be senior people in the hierarchy. Who this major would have been something like a courier sort of a thing.
Right.
Passing instructions, this and that. This major would not have been the person who planned it. Which general? Has he named the chief of the ISI? Has he said that the ISI number 2 has done it? Has he said that this has the blessings of the then Chief of Army Staff of the Pakistan Army? Has he said all of these things? He's not said it. So he was posted there. He went to Saudi. I don't know. A legal expert may be able to better tell you about all these things.
Right. Let me bring in fact, on that note, our legal expert on the panel over here, who in fact specializes in anti-terrorism law. In fact, Parvez Menon, Menon, would you like to come in on that? Because A, the issue of the charge sheet, why the cognizance has not been taken, is this routine? Are there some technical hurdles there? And B, in terms of the depth of the charges, are we really learning something new? And how much of this is really admissible? How much of this has evidentiary value, for instance, in case this goes to trial?
So yes, let me first tell all of you that we are unanimously agreeing, and it's in chorus, that there is nothing new that Mr. Tahawwur Rana has today expressed to the investigating agencies. Having said so, we have seen that the trial has been completed vis-a-vis the earlier arrested accused Ajmal Kasab, who was hanged till death, and it has been executed. So there is nothing new that the trial will bring to the fore through Tahawwur Rana. The charge sheets earlier, the 3 of them or 4 of them were filed. They were tested at the course of trial, and the trial has conclusively concluded the guilt of all of these accused, including the accused who were absconding. Now, the fact that the 4th charge sheet is not taken cognizance of is for the reason that at that particular point of time, say in 2023, there was no accused in front of the court to take cognizance against, because Tahawwur Rana then was not extradited. Now that he has been brought before the court, the NIA has all the rights to take his custody first. They will investigate or interrogate him in the police custody period of first 15 days, then extended to 30 days. Thereafter, they might file a further charge sheet against Tahawwur Rana, and at that stage, the court is well within its right to take cognizance of charge sheet filed against Tahawwur Rana, which would be inclusive of the earlier charge sheets filed. The only loop side of this law now that we see earlier, because he will be tried under the CRPC, which was the erstwhile law. Now we are guided under the BNSS, which is the Bharatiya Nyaya Suraksha Sanhita, which replaces the CRPC. In that, there is a provision of even trying an accused ex parte. If he is not surrendering to the law, his trial could have been held in his absentia. So that benefit we have lost now. Nevertheless, he will be tried. I believe that with the evidence that we have earlier, as the dossier that was sent for extradition, is enough to convict him and even put him to the gallows. What he says to the NIA agencies now today. So on the law on this part is that whatever statement the accused gives in custody of the police, be it the crime branch or the NIA, is not admissible in law. Let me tell you very clearly.
Oh, it's not admissible in law. That's interesting. In fact, Mr. Vasan, one would have thought that when it comes to anti-terror laws, you know, they are slightly more stringent. But as the previous panelist, Mr. Memon, was telling us, none of this will ultimately be admissible in law. What really are the options then in terms of various investigating agencies, not just the NIA, but also the Mumbai police, which will want to, you know, put up a strong case against Tahawwur Rana?
Let me conclude here. That his confession is required to be recorded in front of the magistrate. Once that confession is recorded in magistrate's court, then it is admissible in law, not before the investigating agency.
All right. Mr. Vasan.
Yeah, the previous panelist is absolutely right. Any statement made in police custody to the police is not admissible. But then, whatever revelations he had made would help us in, you know, cogently analyzing the evidence which is already available, or some more clues would be available to us to pursue further investigation.
Right.
And let me come to the first point, that why NIA Bombay Police. You see, the difference is the NIA is investigating the general conspiracy or the broader conspiracy, whereas the Bombay Police continue to investigate 2611. That is the difference. They are two separate cases.
Right.
So that is why this, you know, the Bombay Police and NIA, because NIA has not taken over the case which was investigated by Bombay Police. That's why there are two cases and there will be two trials. Of course, there is a provision in law that when the evidence is available, two cases can be tried together with the permission of the higher court.
All right. All right. And in fact, Mr. Yashwardhan Azad, I want to bring you back to the point that Major Gaurav Arya was making, that at the end of the day, this is not a conspiracy that could have been done by, you know, junior level officers. Obviously, this would have gone all the way to the top. But are you disappointed that we haven't really learned who it was in the Pakistan military establishment who gave these instructions at the senior levels?
Absolutely. That's the point I was making, that this guy has not told us anything. And that was confirmed even by the panelists who spoke after me. By the way, Gaurav, I was, when your father was the 7th Battalion Commandant, I was a probationer in Madhya Pradesh and I was staying in the same campus. Right. So, and it was tremendous and we had a great relationship. So, you know, the question here is that's exactly the point. After 17 years, if we have got this man, there should be some value addition. Because after all, whatever he says is of no value, as rightly, you know, told us by Mr. Memon, that, you know, it has to be before the magistrate. So unless, in fact, the whole OP Sindhurur was to also to degrade the capability of the military might which was behind this Lashkar-e-Taiba. Now, he may try and give us a load of information which is of no value. But obviously, there is a particular unit in the ISI headed by a much higher rank military officer who's guiding the operations in J&K. And if we get one of the names, then it makes a sense. This fellow has come after 17 years and he's taking us round and round. As you know, Gaurav said, hum Saudi Arabia chale gaye, hum yahan chale gaye. He can talk any rubbish, it doesn't make any difference.
True.
So I hope at least Mumbai police cracks him, if not the NIA.
Sure. And Major Gaurav Arya, what are our options? I mean, obviously, we have to name and shame Pakistan at all international fora. What are the options if this trial does come to fruition, if we are able to successfully convict this individual? Of course, we here in India know, but how can we take this forward internationally? The FATF is one area which we've already tried in the past. Should we once again renew our efforts there at the ICJ, at UN? How can we take this forward?
See, to the best of my knowledge, Pakistan has been in the FATF 3 or 4 times and it hasn't made any difference to Pakistan. That is one thing that I can very safely say. How we should do it is, you see, the problem is that when we react to anything that happens out of Pakistan, then we forget very soon. So Operation Sindoor was in response to Pahalgam. like the surgical strikes were in response to Uri, like Balakot was in response to Pulwama. So we are a reactive people. We need to put constant and consistent pressure on Pakistan to be in a state of putting constant pressure on Pakistan. You see, today we are playing cricket with Pakistan. Tomorrow we'll say we'll not play cricket. Third time, some other team will go to Pakistan. It has to be an all-of-government effort, including kinetic and non-kinetic investigative agencies. It is how we view Pakistan. You know, we are still very, very confused, some of us in India. I'm not talking about the government. I'm saying some of us in India are very confused, including opinion makers. How should we look at Pakistan? Is a weak and stable Pakistan in our favor? Is a strong and stable Pakistan in our favor? You know, is Pakistan an enemy country? Is it not an enemy country? First, let's get our bearings correct. 26/11 was the most dastardly attack that happened on Indian soil, terror attack. That is beyond any doubt. But the fact of the matter is, has Pakistan been punished for 26/11? I'm sorry to say this. I don't think it ever will, because like Sir said, 17 years later, we have nothing to show for it. So, I mean, it's only a matter of Pakistan getting this so-called Ashirwad of America and China before it feels confident enough to try something against in Kashmir, or again in Kashmir or some other part of India.
Absolutely. I think that's very well said. Should there be such a cost imposed on Pakistan that they never attempt it again? Well, that's certainly, of course, at the moment what Indians would like to see happening. Will it happen on ground, of course, is a very big question. Mr. N.R. Vasan, Major Gaurav Arya, Yashwardhan Azad, Advocate Parvez Memon, thanks so much for joining us this evening.
NewsHour at 10.